Hey brothers, this is Cam here from Hey Brother Outdoors. I'm going to do my final PCCs and PCIs, which is a inspection of all my equipment before hunting season. I know that hunting season is right around the corner, and a lot of you have still a couple of weeks, but actually next week I'm going to go home to California to visit family. It's been about 2 years since I've taken leave. So when I come back from leave, which is roughly 18 September, it's hunting season, game on. So I need to make sure that all of my equipment is ready to go, fully functional. And if I have anything that I need to change, I need to make those changes right now, or at least in the process while I'm home in California. So without further ado, let's get into some of these equipment, and let me show you what I do to inspect it, make sure it's functional, and see if it needs to be fixed. Especially anything that has to do with safety. Ropes is a big deal, checking for frays, but we'll get into that as we get into more of this equipment. So stay tuned and let's check to make sure that y'all are ready to go and safe. All right, the first thing I'm gonna inspect is my weapon. All right, so my weapon this year is going to be my bow. I'm not going to rifle hunt. I don't plan on buying a rifle. My big purchase this year was my Wild Edge Steps in association with my tethered Mantis saddle. So I'm gonna hold off on getting a rifle this year. I'd like to rifle hunt in the future, but this year is just gonna be strictly archery. So here's my bow. Something that I need to do is wax it. I'm gonna put the wax on all the fibers that are exposed, anything that's not served, which is where the bow shop, where they wrap a secondary line over your actual line, and you can tell what it is when you actually have a bow. So I'm gonna make sure I rub the wax as many exposed bowstring as possible. Okay, you can see I got tape right here because my little slider right here that actually holds in my quiver actually popped last year. I lost it in the woods, so it's $5.99 on trophyridge.com. So I'm gonna go ahead and order one of those. Shouldn't take too long, but that's just something that I can easily fix in the next few weeks. I'm gonna make sure that my line for because I have a arrow rest, I don't have a whisker biscuit. My arrow rest is as I pull it back, it comes up. So I'm gonna make sure that this is tied off good. The gentleman at the bow shop that did it for me, he was excellent. It worked all last year, and I trust him a lot. He's my bow guy. So if you are getting into bow hunting, you need to have a bow guy. This is a Bear Wild, and it's actually lasted me for about 4 years now. So I'm gonna continue to use it until maybe it wears out, right? So your sights, that's something you actually have to look at. I don't know if you could tell, but I lost the top part. I don't really use the lighting, but if you do use the lighting, make sure that you have the proper battery in here, and of course the cap, okay? Make sure that your attaching loop is good to go, your peep sight is good to go when you actually draw it, and of course you have to make sure that you zero your bow. And not just, yes, my bow is zeroed to my practice arrows, I'm talking your real arrows, the ones y'all spend a lot of money on, especially with your broadheads. You need to shoot the broadheads into your stuff right before season starts and make sure that you're as close to spot on as possible, at least up to 35 yards. Another thing, make sure you get the broadheads you need, or if you're using mechanical broadheads, make sure you get those because hunting season just around the corner and you want to make sure that you practice with those. Okay, next I'm gonna go over all the things that are in my pack. That way I make sure that not only do I have everything, but there's PCCs and PCIs per inspectable item, okay? All right, so I have my marking tape. So when I do hopefully slam a deer out there, I can mark off where it is. Or if you have a tree that you are like in particular, you mark it. I have my nader and I have my swader with a lock-on clamp. That way when I let go, it locks on. I don't have to continuously screw and screw out. This is going to be probably silenced right here with some electrical tape. My strap that goes around the tree to hang all my accessories. Tethered also makes a product just like that. It's called the Versa strap. So you wrap it around, and you saw it in my saddle review video. I got extra clips, right? Just in case I need extra carabiners or S-clips. Thermacell, I have the spare butane, and I'm gonna have multiple amounts of these mats in there just as I go so I don't forget. But you can put them in the side of the pouch right here, and that's super nice and nifty, and it takes no batteries. That's the nice part about it. This is how I'm gonna hang my bow. It's the clipper. All right, so it clips into my Eno strap. Predator platform, which I did a review on, super light. For my PCCs and PCIs, you definitely wanna get in the tree with this. Okay, and another big one, obviously, is your rangefinder and your rangefinder holder, and I have a little clip right here that's gonna go right into my Eno strap, okay? And then of course you wanna check your rangefinder, okay? Make sure that it's actually working. And then of course the final thing that I'm gonna check for my pack is my pack, okay? Is it functional? You know, is it gonna do what I need it to do? Does it have enough compartments? The only problem here is it does have a fray right there, okay? But that's no big deal. This is $25 at Bass Pro Shop, so I am totally happy with it. And literally all this stuff is going to fit into my pack, and the Predator platform will go on the outside of my pack. And those are my PCCs and PCIs of my actual pack. All right, now I got this side of the tethered mantis. First and foremost, I'm gonna check the leg straps, right? Make sure they're not frayed. The G-hooks are good, they're nice, they're routed properly. All right, and the G-hooks are not cracked or frayed, okay? Next, I'm gonna check my actual, my sys hauler. Here's my lineman's belt, and you can see that I've already attached my lineman's belt onto the lineman's loop, okay? I have the Ropeman 1 ascender on it, and you can check to make sure that that is properly assembled, right? So it tightens, but then it won't come back on itself. That's what you need to check. All right, carabiner's good to go. No cuts or frays. This is a brand new one. I got at Field & Stream, $20. So I got my tether here. No cuts or frays. The eyelet is nice and spliced. Got my classic Prusik, and then I have the Black Diamond clip, that carabiner clip that Tethered sent me, and that's a twist on. You want to check the twist on and off. All right, that's gonna go into my bridge. Make sure the tether is out there nice and proud. We'll do PCCs and PCIs of just the Wild Edge step bag itself, but the saddle is good to go. All right, brothers, I'm now going to go into detail what I did with the Wild Edge steps bag for my modifications. I'll go get in closer on it with the GoPro, but for the outside appeasement, you can see that this is a 5-step bag, all right? And I had them sew on the fleece on the outside. That way when I'm wearing it, either with the satchel strap or with my modified Molly buttons, if I wear the Molly buttons on the tethered mantis, which it does have Molly, it does have a Molly belt. So I attach that in there, and it's about 5 pounds of weight, so it doesn't actually drag down. I'll let you know in my hunting season as it goes through, and I'll give another review and update on how well this bag does. But this is kind of my customization to my hunting get up this year. I got the Molly buttons as well as the fleece on the outside, and I had them cut a hole in the bottom and add a fleece pouch right here with a drawstring. This is just $5.50, and a little drawstring clamp you can get at a fabric store for 50 cents or something. And then this is also, I got this at Joann Fabrics. The whole fleece was probably this much, as maybe $3, but I bought more, just my daughter liked it. So anyway, and it's just a drawstring. That way the ropes come out the bottom, and I just unzip the top and pull out each one as it goes along. All right, brothers, another thing that you definitely have to check, which I know it seems kind of funny, but think about it. If you wake up at 03 in the morning to go drive and then you got a problem, well, then that's your problem. You may not hunt that day. PMCS your vehicle. Make sure you got good tires if you're going off-roading, which most of us are. If you're trying to get into the backwoods to get that buck, check the oil, and always make sure you top off before you head in for the night or whatever, because you definitely don't want to wake up early in the morning only to have to go to the gas station. Super easy stuff, but it does go unnoticed, as well as make sure you have the proper items in your truck for post-harvest, right, or post-kill. But make sure you have spare batteries in here, a lot more spare batteries than what you would carry in your pack, as well as extra rope. All right, I got this Hawk puller, so I put one end, if it's a buck, I put it on the antler and the other end on a foot, and then I just drag it. Check your vehicles, and then we're gonna finish off with inspecting your hunting camo and gear. So early season, I'm gonna rock, you know, this sort of Under Armour type moisture wickening shirt. I got a t-shirt. This one is not moisture wickening. It's just a coverall, very light though, airy, long sleeve. Okay, if you're going through the thick brush. Or pants, I got these at Field & Stream. They're just very light, thin, but they definitely help out when you're walking through the brush and stuff starts sticking to you. Super light and breathable. So when you're out there sweating, this is not contributing to it. For cold weather, I got this coat. This coat is super awesome, super warm. It's got 2 layers, so this outside layer is not exactly waterproof, but it does detract the water and snow. Also on the inside layer, there's this secondary secondary fabric. This is the actual water repellent layer, and because this is 2 jackets ultimately put together. It's a redhead. I got it on sale at Bass Pro like 4 or 5 years ago for maybe $100. This is not cold weather. This is more of a water repellent layer, but usually when I go out cold weather, I wear sweats and then just put this over the sweats. So this is nice. It's stretchy. Also PMCS your boots, okay? Make sure that they're still waterproof, because you definitely need to have something like this when you're going out and walking in the thick stuff. And also check your regular boots that you're gonna be taking in. Also make sure that you have your hunter safety orange. You definitely wanna PMCS your tree stamp harness, okay? Make sure that you have your tether to your harness. Make sure there's no cuts or frays, because that's what's keeping you to the tree. All right, brothers, thanks for watching this video on PCCs and PCIs of all your equipment. The moral of this whole video is to not only make sure that everything that you have is safe and able for you to go hunt in it, but it's also so that you know your equipment. That's probably the biggest thing, is knowing your equipment, how to manipulate it, and making sure that it works for you. And if you need to make any modifications, either before hunting season, hopefully, or maybe during it, and you can test out different stuff. I'd like to make a special thanks to Tethered for, 1, making an awesome product, but 2, also giving military discount. It was a really good military discount, so I recommend any active duty, retired military, give them an email, tell them that you're military. All they do is just need some sort of proof. So I shot them that, and they gave me a really good discount, as well as the Wild Edge Steps company. They gave me a military discount as well. That's on their website. They have a promo code for it. So big thanks to 2 companies that support their military. That's what we appreciate the most, is when people actually appreciate the military. And I know that when my time's done, that I'll go ahead and continue to appreciate the military. But thank you to those guys. And again, brothers, thanks for watching. And always remember, take your brother hunting. Take it easy.